Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So there's been some reports going on about the Toronto Raptors really monitoring the situation of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the OKC Thunder. And my first initial thoughts to this was leave this man alone and leave this team alone. I really do think that the NBA media, they are looking for their next disgruntled NBA star to really just, talk about going to a billion different teams and things like that. For years it was Bradley Beal, it was Kevin Love, recently Donovan Mitchell, and it just looks like they're trying to do that again because oftentimes you have these great players that stick it out with small market teams. And in all reality, the NBA being a business, they want these big name players to go to the big time markets because, well, that's more money in their pocket, right? But then I did think a little bit more about it because, you don't always want your emotions to cloud logic. And I was thinking about, is there a realistic circumstance in which Shai could actually get traded to the Toronto Raptors? I mean, this has been a player that has been on their radar essentially since draft night years ago, where he was selected. I believe he was drafted by the Hornets, but he was traded to the Clippers. I think that was like the Miles Bridges trade or something like that. But regardless, so let's look at it from a logical standpoint. For one, I do not think Shai would get traded because he was disgruntled or would request a trade. I just don't think that would happen. What I do know is that Shai is 24 years of age, and the OKC Thunder, historically speaking, over the course of the past few seasons, have been in love with the idea of just hoarding all of these draft picks, man. They just want so many first-round picks. And it looks like it's going to be another year of rebuilding. Shai is going to be missing the beginning of the regular season. Chet is going to be out for the season. And they're going to be getting probably another top 5 pick in the draft. Maybe 2 of them, man. I don't know how many draft picks they have these days. But they could very well get like 2 or 3 lottery picks going into next season. I'm not this upcoming season, the season after that one. So then at that point, where are you as a franchise? Well, at that point, you are incorporating 2 or 3 rookies essentially into the starting lineup. Have that be Chet, who's going to be playing, NBA games for the first time. Whoever they end up getting, have that be Victor Wembanyama, maybe a Scoot Henderson, somebody along those lines. I think Nick Smith Jr. is another big name out there. And when you look at it from that standpoint, you're like, damn, now all of a sudden Shai is 25, entering his, I would say prime usually starts at like 25. 27, I think, is like peak prime at that point. You can still be a great NBA player, but I think 27 is the absolute peak for an NBA player, just in my own humble opinion. And so you're essentially just starting to incorporate all these rookies, and now Shai's in his prime and everything, as opposed to trading him right now, getting a hell of a haul back, man. I'm talking, 3 unprotected first round picks and whoever else the Toronto Raptors would offer up, which we are going to go over in today's video. And then all of a sudden, you go into next offseason, maybe you draft a Scoot Henderson. And don't forget too, they also have Josh Giddey on the team. Shai and Giddey, both handle the basketball, but also play off ball a lot of the times. I think Giddey is a natural point guard. I think he should be playing the number 1 spot. I think you kind of maybe fix some issues with that too. So I definitely see the plausibility behind it. I just don't think it would go down how the media would want to, just saying, oh, Shai is pissed off at the organization, he's done rebuilding. No, it would simply just be the direction of the OKC Thunder. But also keep in mind, too, that Shai just signed a very large extension. So, I mean, I can see both sides of it. I'm not one of those people to say this will never happen. Shai's not going anywhere, because we've seen crazier things happen in the NBA. When you've been watching basketball as long as I have, like, you start seeing those kind of defensive responses that people have to different rumors out there saying so-and-so is never getting traded. Those are the famous last words of any fan of a player who ended up getting traded. Like, we just don't really know. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it's good to keep an open mind about why it could happen, right? So let's go ahead and hop over to NBA 2K23. I do want to put a trade up in here, man. I did post over on Twitter at CrispyFlakes2K asking you guys what you think a realistic type of trade would be. So I'm going to go based off what you guys said here, man. And this is the trade that I've kind of been seeing people talk about. This would be, first, let's go pull up Shai from the OKC Thunder and kind of look at what he did last season in the first place. So 87 overall in 2K, listed as a point guard, can play some shooting guard also, obviously. Probably some small forward too in a lot of lineups. But yeah, so last NBA season, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists per game. Turnovers, we'd like to get that down a little bit. Field goal percentage at 45% last season, only 30% from 3, so that's definitely something to work on. But you looking at his career average in the season before, like, he can definitely knock it down. It's just some seasons are going to be better than others. So yeah, obviously a fantastic player. I think extremely underrated. And I could see why OKC Thunder fans would not want to get rid of him, right? So there we go. We got Shai right there. Now, the trade that a lot of you guys were kind of talking about was going to be, now a lot of people are like, it's got to be Scotty Barnes, right? Let me just say this. Toronto's not trading Scotty Barnes. The Pistons aren't offering up Cade. The Rockets aren't offering up Jalen Green. The Cavs aren't going to offer up Evan Mobley, so why the hell would they offer up the Rookie of the Year in Scotty Barnes, especially like when this is a player that wouldn't even be talked about in Kevin Durant trades, right? So it's not going to be Scotty Barnes. The trade you guys were saying was OG, and where are we at, man? OG, Gary Trent Jr., and like 3 unprotected first round picks. Now you might hear that and be like, yo, that's not enough, Crispy. Honestly speaking, I don't think that's a bad haul. I think that's actually pretty realistic. I know with the Rudy Gobert trade, we all want to get back 17 first round picks and, 19 superstar players. I know that wasn't the trade exactly, but you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a good haul for a player that maybe has a little bit of an injury history now, but is a great, that's not a bad trade. I totally understand why a lot of people were saying this one. I think there was also people in my comments saying things like, maybe Pascal Siakam, maybe Fred VanVleet, but at the same time, you got to remember that what's the reason that Shai's being traded in this case? It's because, Sam Presti and the OKC Thunder are just kind of like, we're still in this rebuild phase, so they're not going to trade for somebody older than Shai. That just doesn't make sense whatsoever. And yeah, so it would be Shai going over there. And let's just go ahead and toss in some of the players down here. Let's just go. I'm not saying it's going to be Ty Jerome, but we'll toss him in just to make the salary work. And that is the trade we are going to put through. So let's look at the lineups for both sides of things. Let's start over here with the OKC Thunder. How would they be rocking out next season? Well, you're probably looking at a lineup of Josh Giddey, Gary Trent Jr. I actually love that for a backcourt. Gary Trent last season at 18 points. 3 rebounds, 2 assists per game. I think, with his height and everything, works perfectly with Giddey in the backcourt. I'm thinking you would probably have OG playing that 4 spot, and then you would have Dort at the 3. Obviously, Chet's not going to be playing next season, so we'll go ahead and just toss in, I don't know. I could have swore, no. I thought Cody Zeller was on this team. No, he actually went to the Utah Jazz. We'll just toss Derek Favors there. Is he even still on the team, man? I don't know. But yeah, Chet's not playing next season, so we don't want him to interfere with the rebuild or whatever is going on here. So yeah, we'll get this going here for the minutes and just kind of up everybody here a bit. Let's also get Osman Zhang some minutes. There we go, at about 16 a game. And yeah, that's definitely a lottery team. Like, this team is not going to be great next season if this is the type of trade they would pull off. But eventually, you have OG probably shifting to the 3 spot, Dort, going to the 2, maybe Gary Trent off the bench or vice versa. You add Chet to that. You add potentially also a Victor Wembanyama. I mean, then you're in a good place. But next season will be rebuild mode. Okay, let's look over. Also, I guess real quick here, we should look at the stats of OG. What did he do last season? 17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. The reason I would said his name a lot too is just because this is another player that, we've not really got a chance to see OG break out. And I think we're getting to that point where it's like, damn, this dude's ready to go. Let's see what he's all about on a team where he could be a higher optioned player in the offense. So yeah, that's why I think that would be a good fit for him. And then over for the Toronto Raptors. So, okay. Let's get this looking good out here, man. Let's get the rotation all looking good. You're gonna look at Shai probably playing the shooting guard position. What I kind of like about this is that, for a long time, Kyle Lowry was the veteran point guard. Fred VanVleet was kind of the up-and-comer at the 2. And now it kind of reverses that role where Fred is now the new Kyle Lowry of this team. And Shai can be like the Fred VanVleet, where you just know eventually the reins of the team is going to be his. Although I think at this point, Shai is probably better than when Fred initially joined the team, I should say. So we got that going for us here. I also like, too, the consolidation factor of this within the lineup. I do think that the Toronto Raptors do have 1 forward too many on the team as it stands, and it looks like they're going to be doing some positionless basketball type of things out there. Now, you very much could just continue running Pascal at the center position, Scotty Barnes at the 4, and then Otto Porter, who was a sharpshooter you played for the Warriors last season, could be the new starting small forward for the team if you want to go that route. But I think it's a good opportunity to bump Pascal down to the power forward position, secondary center. Let's put Scotty Barnes over at small forward / power forward. And then you can go out and make some type of trade for a center. Maybe you're good with the guys like Ken Burch, Chris Boucher, and also Precious Achiuwa, who showed some pretty promising minutes for the team last season. I want this team personally to go out and trade for the Jakob Poeltl. I don't think that's going to happen, but I like the idea of that. But yeah, let's not assume trades anymore in this video. So now we're looking at Fred, Shai, Scotty, Pascal, and Precious Achiuwa at the center position. And that's a very damn solid team, bro. Like, I'm liking it a lot. I think it's very solid. Yeah, how do we want to run this? 32, 36, 31, 34, 27. That looks pretty good there. And I mean, that's just as of dangerous team in the Eastern Conference as any team over there. So I like it. I can see why Raptor fans want this kid on their team and everything. If you're a Thunder fan, what do you guys think about this trade? Let me know in the comment section below. But let's go ahead and simulate this NBA season and just kind of get a good idea of how both of these teams can do. Okay, we are at the end of the regular season. The OKC Thunder actually managed to pull off 37 wins. So, I mean, it kind of kills their tanking chances right there. Keep in mind, they still got a billion first-round draft picks, so they can probably trade up for any player they wanted to make. I don't know. How many first-round picks would it take you personally to trade Victor Wembanyama? Like, if the OKC Thunder is calling you up, would you be like, hey, I want 20 of them bitches, man? And then for the Toronto Raptors, 58-23. Damn, man. Simulate through date and finish with a W on the season. We got Luka MVP. Jabari Smith, Rookie of the Year. Ben Simmons is 6th man. Okay. Alpi Most Improved. First time I've seen that on this game. All-NBA first, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third with Shai making it. Very important, man. Very important right there. So yeah, let's go to the player stats on the season. And we do have, looks like Shai is the leading scorer at about 30.6 rebounds, 7 assists. Is definitely going to help the OKC Thunder fans in this video, man. I know you all fuming in the comments right now. Freddie at 22 points, 7 assists. Pascal at 19, 7, and 5. Yo, I'd low be a fan of this team here, bro. This team is balling out, man. Scotty Barnes, 13.6 rebounds, 4 assists, which we know we can put up even better numbers than that. And then very importantly, too, Precious Achiuwa, God bless, 11 points, 7 rebounds per game. Bench unit looking extra crispy. Let's check out this OKC Thunder team real quick here too, see what they're doing. This is Giddey now as the full-time starting point guard, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, almost a triple-double threat. Dort as the second leading scorer. Gary Trent, OG. You know, OG, I like to see him closer to like 18 to 20 points per game, if I'm being 100% honest, in this new type of offense, especially on a team that doesn't really have like crazy #1 scoring options on their team. But overall, they are actually set up for some pretty good success themselves. So let me move myself over here real quick. Just so I'll put myself up here so we can see how this Toronto Raptors team can do in the playoffs. Simulate play in tournaments. So first round, the Milwaukee Bucks. Simulate round against them. And 4 games to 2. Okay, so moving on to the second round closeout game. 29 for Shai, 26 for Fred. Next up, we got the Atlanta Hawks, which I would love that matchup because, you know, just having that new height of DeJounte Murray on the team, like adding Shai onto that would be great defensively speaking. And 2K does agree as we beat them 4 games to 1, 34, 8, and 6 for Shai. All right, next up, we got the Boston Celtics, last year's Eastern Conference Finals champions. This year, though, it's going to be the Toronto Raptors going to the NBA Finals behind a crazy game from, once again, Shai and Fred. This might be the best damn backcourt in the NBA all of a sudden. Okay, and here we go. Pelicans, simulate rounds. And just like that, man, Shai on the Toronto Raptors, NBA champions, Finals MVP. You cannot ask for a better end to a video than that. Although, real quick here, I'm just curious. Let me go to the draft lottery. I do want to see what picks the OKC Thunder would have ended up with given this circumstance here. So they end up getting, the 12th pick and the 15th pick and the 16th pick. Any more picks there? The 30th pick. Okay, so, yeah, lower end of the lottery. I don't know, man. What y'all think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. That's all we got. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.